morning and welcome to Wellspring. My name is Judy Bethman and I'm part of your Sunday service team for November 1st, 2021. Our announcements today: Early Birds continues to meet Sunday mornings at 9:30 via Zoom. The link is in the weekly email and on the website. Last Wednesday, the Board of Trustees did a visioning, asking Spirit for guidance for Wellspring's future. 2 word clouds manifested, and we hold these thoughts in the light. I'll give you a little time to read those. Okay, we have 3 board openings in February. What is your role in Wellspring Church? If Wellspring is to thrive, time investment in the operations of the church needs to be placed on everyone's shoulders. Please search your heart. All right, upcoming speakers. Next week, Peggy Shin will talk. December 5th, Dr. Edward Burlbaw will talk. And then December 12th, Reverend Kamatara will speak. We're also working on a combined service with other CSL and Unity for a Christmas Eve service, so put that on your calendars as well. I think that's going to be via Zoom, but our part will be here in the sanctuary. All right, the Mesilla Valley Chorale concert is Sunday, December 12th at the Rio Grande Theater. The tickets are $10. See Judy or Edwin. And lastly, our prayer team remains ready to serve and support you. You may submit a request via our webpage. Our prayer team meets virtually on Tuesday afternoons. Tuesday afternoons, or did you change it to Friday? Okay. At 4:15 to pray with you. You may consider sitting in your quiet space during that time. We know we are one in spirit, and the energy of prayer knows no limits. All right. Let's do our invocation for this morning. Everybody sit back and take a deep breath in and a slow release of breath. Close your eyes if you wish. Today, as we awaken to the fresh, crisp fall morning, we see that as a demonstration of spirit expressing through the physical dimension, we affirm and acknowledge the same oneness is here, filling this sanctuary and acting in, through, and around each of us here in person and also on Zoom. We give thanks for the presence of Spirit and know that it is bringing forth only the highest and best for all. And so it is. Okay, stand if you are able. We're going to sing this morning's song of joy. We're going to do, Brenda, we're going to do this slide twice. We're going to sing this slide twice and the next slide twice. Okay? I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. So grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I'm so grateful. I am so blessed. We are so blessed. We are so blessed. We are so grateful for all that we have. We are so blessed. We are so blessed. Grateful. We are so blessed. We are so blessed. We are so grateful for all that we have. We are so blessed. We are so blessed. Oh, we are so.
Thank you. You may be seated. Is everybody in Zoom land, is everybody on mute? Okay. Just checking. All right. We're doing our vision, our mission, and our affirmation. Our vision, to elevate spiritual consciousness in our world. Our mission, to support individual spiritual quests through celebration, study, counsel, loving fellowship, and service. Our affirmation, I recognize the presence of the one loving source expressing as me, as you, as this beloved community. We are connected in the one heart, one mind, one love. As I know the best and highest good for myself, I know it for Wellspring too. All is in divine right order. Life is rich and fulfilling. We are blessed to share this sacred adventure together. We are so blessed to do that. All right, at this time we have our special music. I'd like to reintroduce you to Irene Gary, who is the music teacher at Zia Middle School. Is that right?
Vista. And
Vista.
I'm Irene Brink.
Irene Brink.
Yes.
Oh, we need to change your check then. Okay.
Oh, it'll take that name. It's a recent name change.
Oh, well, congratulations.
Thank
Okay. She also conducts the Singing Out group, which is our gay, lesbian.
LGBTQIA+ and ally community choir.
Thank you for doing that. Okay. Thank you for singing.
My pleasure. Thank you. Rise up to your elation. Rise up to your love. Rise up in celebration. Rise up to your joy. Rise up to your elation. Rise up to your love. Rise up in celebration. Rise up to your joy. Feeling heart's desire. Rise up to your love. Soaring ever higher. Rise up to your joy. Flowing in the change. Rise up to your love. Dancing in the rain. Rise up to your joy. Rise up to your elation. Rise up to your love. Rise up in celebration. Rise up to your joy. Rise up to your elation. Rise up to your love. Rise up in celebration. Rise up to your joy. Digging in so deep. Rise up to your love. Waking from your sleep. Rise up to your joy. Feeling your release. Rise up to your love. Calling home to peace. Rise up to your joy. Rise up to your elation. Rise up to your love. Rise up in celebration.
Well, that should have got the blood stirring. Okay, this morning's reading is from Science of Mind magazine from January 2021. It is mostly human beings who wear the dust of the past on their shoes, who build monuments to what has come and gone. Naturally, we look toward the past often because we have the greatest capacity for memory, and of course, memory is necessary to us for the depth and thickness of character that we need to live a full life. However, it is important that we remember that the past is a done deal. It remains now only in memory, and memory is needed for storing essential data that we will need to access from time to time. It is not a place for daily energetic living. We say that we live in the eternal now, in the moving energies of spirit that stand in the forefront of creation. If this be true, then we must place ourselves forward into what God has for us. We must be the harbingers of every new day. We can ask ourselves, am I ready for the divine revelations that lie within me? Am I the change agent that is natural in me? Am I engaged in what the day holds? There is excitement in the now, and perhaps a little fear of the unknown at times. But we are infinite. We are infinite beings, and therefore at the front of the line for living fully. And the affirmation today: in deepest peace, love, and gratitude, I give great thanks for the gifts of the Spirit that come to me each day. I am present to what lies ahead in the day. And so it is. Okay, and now it's my great privilege to introduce Dr. Edward Burlbaw for our message this morning.
Thank you, Judy, for the reading. Thank you for the music. And I hate to think about the future, but I know the song that's coming up after, and I'm just waiting for that one as well. But in the meantime, I will try to be here in the now, in the present. So today's topic is relating to your memory. And you might ask the question, is your memory your friend? Or memory, friend, or foe? Now, I've borrowed information, used information from Michael Singer's The Untethered Soul book that Early Birds has read. And some of what I have to say just comes from my recollections of Michael Rice's book of Why Is This Happening to Me Again? And Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now. And of course, I went to that ever-present internet for a few references as well. But let me just start out by throwing out some memories. Perhaps you had a special trip to Hawaii. You had a fabulous meal at an upscale restaurant. There was a traumatic thing or event that happened to you at school as a child. There was a time when your parents slighted you, whether real or imagined. There was 9/11. There was the day Kennedy was shot. I think we have almost everybody here will remember that one, as well as 9/11. So let's talk about, first of all, how accurate is our memory. And we'll start with the John F. Kennedy shooting. How many of you don't remember where you were when Kennedy was shot? Well, I thought that was the case. you probably remember it still as if it was just yesterday. You probably remember what you did, how you felt. And if I recall, there was a sudden fear that the Russians were going to attack. And I know I was in grade school, and we went to the church and we prayed. Now, psychologists call these types of memories flashbulb memories. It's like a flashbulb went off and that memory is burned into your thoughts or your mind or what have you. And again, the characteristics are that we remember these memories as if they happened yesterday, even though they took a long time ago or happened a long time ago. And they don't typically fade with time, but remain vivid and clear in our mind. Furthermore, studies have shown that we have high confidence about their accuracy. Again, no matter how many years have passed. So these are flashbulb memories. Now, interestingly enough, even flashbulb memories can be inaccurate. There was a study done. A good example is the weather. What was the weather like on that day? So they did some studies with Europeans who had experienced the German invasion of World War II, and also then later on had experienced the Allied liberation. And they found that almost everybody's thought or perception of the weather on the days that the German invaded, it was a bleak, cloudy, rainy day, even though it wasn't in many cases. And when they were liberated by the Allies, it was a bright, cheerful day. The sun shone, the birds, the whole works, even though it possibly wasn't the case. So we go on to another type of memory, and we know that there's a therapy called recovered memory therapy. And typically this has to do with children who are abused and their recollections and that so on and so forth. But researchers were only able to corroborate about 45% of the stories. So neuroscientists and psychologists say that the process of remembering is not really the same as viewing a videotape or accessing a fixed data set, if we want to think about current time and place. But instead, memories are these networks in our brain that when we remember them, we fire the network of connectivity, but occasionally it can not fire as clearly or whatever, and the memory can actually be changed. It's kind of like you take the data out of the database, if you will, and you look at it, and then you type it back in. So it's not a perfect recollection. As a matter of fact, studies have shown that in as little as 3 sessions, someone can go from knowing that a certain event did not happen to, in 3 sessions, believing that probably it did happen with just the right amount of suggestion and suggestivity. Well, we may have examples of this in our own life. Remember when you were a child, perhaps you caught a fish and it was about this long, but the more you told it, the longer it got. Now that didn't happen to me. Anyway, so maybe I've managed to sort of debunk the accuracy or the trustworthiness of your memory. Or, memory's not all it's cracked up to be. And I know some of you are back there saying, wait. No, you don't understand. I have this very strong, clear childhood memory about something that happened when I was in grade school or 2 years old or whatever. It really happened exactly the way I remember it, and I know it's true. Kind of like that country and western song. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it, right? So borrowing from the reading that Judy just did, it said, naturally, we look toward the past often because we have the greatest capacity for memory. And of course, memory is necessary to us for the depth and thickness of character that we need to live a full life. So there is some use or value to memory, of course. So let's go back to a couple of these good memories. You know, that trip to Hawaii or that dinner at a great restaurant. So in that sense, memory can truly be your friend. We can languish in those feelings. We can enjoy the feeling of that and so forth. But you know, there was a flip side of this, because even your good memories can be a source of unhappiness. Oh, that's no good. So if you use memory to create an expectation about the future, then maybe you could be disappointed. So let's revisit this wonderful trip to Hawaii. You went there, you stayed in this really neat hotel. Right across the street was a restaurant. It was just kind of like a little bistro, and you went over there every morning and you had your coffee and a roll and stuff. And you got to fly a helicopter. You went over to the big island and you saw the volcano, and you took a helicopter ride over the waterfalls, and it was fantastic. And let's go again this year. Now, 20 years ago maybe have passed. So you go back. Well, first of all, that hotel hadn't been remodeled in 20 years, and it was kind of, maybe it was no longer the 4-star or 5-star that you thought it was. And the restaurant across the street had been closed and went out of business because of COVID. And the local residents no longer allowed helicopters to fly over their property. And so you actually would have had to fly all the way around the island, around the ocean to see the volcano. And so basically it hasn't been profitable and those businesses closed. And well, maybe you did get to see the waterfall. Now, so there was a good memory sort of turned bad, if you will. So your experience in the now was not all that great because you were living in your memory. Now, perhaps this hotel was not a flea bag, but it was just kind of a quaint little hotel now rather than a flea bag. And the restaurant across the street was gone, but there was one down in the lobby that was just as nice. And instead of taking that helicopter flight, you went kayaking or you swam with the dolphins or whatever. Okay, so now that's more, you know, living with what is dished up to you in the moment. And then I'll talk about some traumatic childhood memories, perhaps. And I want to tell a little story about when I believe I was probably about 4. What's in my memory is that I remember running down the street on the sidewalk, not in the street, as my father was driving away in the car and just screaming, "Daddy, take me with you, take me with you." And of course, he didn't stop. And so that was imprinted in my memory. Or maybe folks have had a bad breakup with a partner, or a boyfriend or a girlfriend. You know, many of us had that in high school in spades, so to speak. So in that sense, I'd say memory was not really my friend because that was a traumatic event, or any of these other things could be traumatic events. And I think things like that, our first thought would be just to stuff it back and forget it when it comes up. Now, bad experiences or bad memories can also create expectations for more bad. As a child, I was scared by a Doberman that came running up to me, barking and opening its teeth, you know. And even to this day, I have to admit that when a dog comes up like that, I don't care how brave I'm feeling, the millisecond before that, that fear just settles in. So bad memories can affect how we respond to our current environment. Or maybe here's an example that's not true, but I'm pushing it sort of to the ridiculous. But I'll say some childhood event affected how I relate to people with blonde hair or green eyes. Somehow that information was stored in my memory bank, and whenever I meet someone with green eyes, I have an immediate mistrust of them because of what I know happened to me way back when. So you say, Edward, look, first you told me memories were good, then you said memories were bad. Now you say memories are true, memories aren't true. Maybe even memories can be changed. I don't know. My head is spinning. But let's think about changing memories. And I'm going to say memories can be changed with the addition of new information. This example of my dad driving off, and he did come back. It's not like that was the last time I ever saw him. Some people that has happened to, but that did not happen to me. All right, so I carried this along with me for quite a while. Well, and like I said, I was 4, I have older brothers and stuff, but finally someone told me, and I don't remember when this happened, but they told me this was right around Christmas time, and Dad was going Christmas shopping, and he couldn't take you along because he couldn't buy a present that would be a surprise for you then. It's like, oh my gosh, that is so different than what I had painted in my mind. And I don't know if some of you remember watching Saturday Night Live a long time ago. There was this character on there that was called Rosanna Dana. Okay, I see some folks. And she would get off on some rant about something, and they'd say, wait, stop. The word was cherish, not cherries. And she'd go, oh, never mind. And that's kind of, with the addition of new information, how our memories can be changed. It's amazing. When you think about, nothing really happened other than that someone told you a different truth. And everything associated with that, at the blink of an eye, changes. So in light of this new information, I can change my memory or change my interpretation associated with that past event. Well, it's another way that memories can be changed is to relive them or reshape them in a different way. And we all know this is that what we do in our imagination or in our thoughts can affect the real world. And there's a famous example of that where there were 2 groups of basketball players, and for, 10 days or something, one group practiced shooting free throws, and the other group, in their mind, not even touching a ball, practiced shooting free throws. And they made it every time, of course, and so forth. At the end of the test period, both groups had improved essentially the same. It was indistinguishable between what they had been doing in their mind versus what they had been doing physically. And you also, if you watch sports events like on the Olympics or what have you, you see a lot of times the pole vaulter or whatever, he or she will be standing there, they're visualizing the jump. You know why they're doing that? Because it works. So come back to our own memories now, and let's talk about taking a memory and rewriting the ending. Replay it in your mind, this time changing the ending from what was traumatic, if you will, into something else. Because your brain doesn't know the difference. And as we said, it only takes about 3 times to change someone's memory from it didn't happen to it did happen. So we use that to rewrite our memory. And I think there's an expression in the Course in Miracles that says, nothing is as it seems to be. So if you don't like what it's at, you can reprogram it. And along the lines of rewriting our memory, just yesterday I heard a story about someone rewriting a past life memory. And I do have permission to use this. She said she was in a workshop, and they were training different healing modalities. And, there was usually one person who was the healee and one person was the healer. And it became her turn to put her hands on the other person. And she began to approach like this, and she just was physically thrown back several feet. It was like beyond her control. But in her mind was the words, "You will never use your hands to heal again." It's like, and then some other images started coming up. She had been a medicine woman or a shaman in a past life, and the village had been beset by some kind of a disease. And she was unable to find the cure for the disease, and these people kept dying. And so many were dying that they finally thought, I bet it's the shaman has put the curse on us because she is so powerful. And so they took her, they put her hands in the village fire, burned her hands, and then killed her. So no wonder when she went to put her hands on someone to heal them, she had this reaction. I said, wow, that's a past life. What the heck are we going to do with that? Anyway, the answer, and it's a good ending, is that with some reworking, she essentially reimagined the situation in which she did find the cure and obviously wasn't killed, and she continued to be the healer for that tribe, or the medicine woman. And to this day now, she can do her healing work. I had not heard of that. I was okay with this idea of dealing with a certain past life, current life, I should say, event. But when I thought, wow, we always kind of do this thing, past life events, that's karma. Are you ever going to get over that kind of thing? Well, folks, you know what? Spirit works everywhere, all the time. And again, I just want to remind us that we can do a similar reworking. And, as I'm speaking here, I'm thinking about that Doberman running up to me. I guess I get to do a little bit of work on that still. So I want to say memories are a gift. It doesn't really matter if they're true or not true. It's important what we do with them. And what we do with them is up to us. We need to release the emotions associated with them. Maybe embrace the memories and acknowledge with gratitude their contribution to who we are today. And Michael Singer, in his book Untethered Soul, says, relax and release. Relax and release. Not stuff down. Feel it. Relax and release. So if our goal is to live more clearly in the present, we need to let go of all the filters between us and the experience of what's actually happening. Memories create these preconceptions or misconceptions that color what's happening to us presently, like a filter between us and reality. So if we're too wrapped up in the past or by the past, we miss the fullness of the present experiences. So I want to read a little bit here from Eckhart Tolle. And those of you who've been reading this book know that it's kind of a question and answer type of thing. And the question has to do with experiences in our life and so forth. And don't we need to bring up all those memories and experiences to deal with them? And so Tolle says, there is no need to investigate the unconscious past in you except as it manifests at this moment as a thought, an emotion, a desire, a reaction, or an external event that happens to you. Whatever you need to know about the unconscious past in you, the challenges of the present will bring out. If you delve into the past, it will become a bottomless pit. Only the present can free you of the past. More time cannot free you of time. Access the power of now. That is the key. None other than the power of the presence, your consciousness liberated. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, so I missed a question here. It says, what is the power of now? It's none other than the power of your presence, your consciousness liberated from thought forms. So deal with the past at the level of the present. The more attention you give to the past, the more you energize it, and the more likely you are to make a self out of it. Don't misunderstand. Attention is essential, but not to the past as past. Give attention to the present. Give attention to your behavior, to your reactions, moods, thoughts, emotions, fears, and desires as they occur in the present. There's the past in you. If you can be present enough to watch all those things, not critically or analytically, but non-judgmentally, then you are dealing with the past and dissolving it through the power of your presence. You cannot find yourself by going into the past. You find yourself by coming into the present. So I started out with a question. Is your memory your friend or your foe? You decide. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Well, now it's time for our prayer treatment. So perhaps you want to relax a little bit. And we always start out with saying that God is all there is, that spirit, that oneness, that divine, that universe plus, whatever we choose to call it, love, peace, joy, harmony, that is all there is. That is a piece and a part of everything that is. We are made of that same essence. We talk about the omnis, the omnipresence, the omniscient, all the omnis, I call them. You know, we have those in us as well because we are a piece and a part of that oneness. So as we turn our minds to prayer today, we speak with the authority, same authority that Jesus used, the same authority that God is, Spirit is. We know there are friends and family who are experiencing difficulties or challenges of one form or another in their life. We just hold for them the understanding and the affirmation and the intention that within any and all that's going on is the presence of that great oneness. That oneness that connects all of us. We just know that as they experience whatever it is they're doing, that they are expressing God. They're God expressing God through them. So we hold that for all those. And at the same time, we turn our thoughts and our mind to everything that's going on in our city, in the country, and in the world. We just know that no matter what it looks like, within all of that is the expression of God. Be it someone acting out so they can learn not to act out. We don't know, but we do know that there is God expressing in all that. There is love. Beneath all of that is love. So we just hold that because we know it's true and we hold it for everyone else. We're thankful that we have this understanding. We're thankful that we can do this prayer, that we can believe this, as it makes the world a better place. We also know that our part of this prayer, our part of this treatment is done because we are just releasing it now into the mind of the great Spirit, the oneness, the Mother, Father, God, Gaia, whatever you call it. So we just release this, and we know that the power of that is working through it, is working with it, and is working with everyone in the universe. And so it is. And I think now we have some more music. Irene? Did I say I love this song she's going to sing?
Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. Look for the Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. People done crazy, people gone mad, people done forgot the superpowers we all have. We were born to love, not hate. We can decide our fate and look for the good in everyone and celebrate all our mistakes. There's a silver lining. You still have to find it, find it, find it. Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. Everyone needs sunshine. Everyone needs rain. Everyone is carrying around some kind of pain. I see who you are. You're just like me. I see you searching for a purpose, guided by the dream. I see who you are. I'm just like you, and I get lost sometimes and I forget what I came here to do, but I keep on trying. When it gets frightening, look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good. Look for the good. Look for the good in everyone. Everyone is nature. Everyone is God. Everyone is light and love and vibration. Look for the good. Look for the good. Everyone gets mad sometimes. Maybe they should. Look for the good. Look for the good. Yeah, look off for all those heroes in your neighborhood. Look for the good. Look for the good. Life would sure be sweeter if everybody would look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good. Look for the good. Look for the good in everyone. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Irene. Come back and see us again sometime. All right. Well, I don't know where the third page to my... Would you turn on the slideshow? They don't need me. They can just read what we've got up there. Thank you. Okay. No, that's the first page. No, it's not. Oh, well, okay. Next time I'll take it down and keep it with me rather than leave it up on the podium. All right. As we acknowledge and receive our virtual and in-person gifts, we give great thanks for the offerings already given and those we will be receiving, because we know that giving and receiving are both part of the one flow. We affirm that we are also part of that flow. We bless these gifts and know that they are multiplied throughout our community. There are a number of folks who have contributed to the production of this service, and we are really grateful for your service, and we thank you for joining us today. And lastly, stay around in the Zoom meeting after service to visit or join us for conversation and cookies in the social hall. Please stand with me and read the benediction, followed by our congregational peace song. Spirit, in the midst of us mighty, joy, peace, and eternal life are our true nature, and flow through us into the world, and so it is. Thank you, and everyone out there in Zoom land and everyone here, have a happy Thanksgiving.